Hello, hello. Welcome back to another live stream with Supplierty News. Um, as always, thank you uh, for the views and support. Definitely, we always like to say this: like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you have any, questions or things that you want to add to the podcast. Now, as always, we're trying to do this each week, so you guys know about kind of what we do and what we offer. In addition to checking out suppliertynews.com, where we inform you about all the news happening within small business and supplier diversity, or just diversity in general. We also have supplierty.com, which you can check out the link in the description below. And essentially, that is a website that helps organizations connect with large corporations. And we're going to talk about that today as well, how that system can help you and just give you different tips on how to navigate the conference and networking season that's about to come up. But for Supplierty in general, we've got hundreds of corporations and their information, um, highlighting how to do business with them and the process of, again, connecting with them, registering at their website, telling you how much time it takes. And once you finish that finish that off, going to that, your conference or event that you've got coming up in the next month or so, and really taking advantage or learning more about, what that large corporation is looking to buy and how your business can take advantage of that. So again, that's www.supplierT.com. And again, description is in the or the link is in the description. Now, let's go ahead and let's get started on today's live stream, which is, are you ready for the upcoming conference and networking season? Now, Ray, I want to thank you for joining me again. For
No problem, man.
another live stream conference.
Uh,
Uh,
I
so
didn't want to do my Jamie impersonation too, though, before we start.
what?
So, hello, hello. Go ahead. I just had to put it out
Wow. That's all right.
there.
I hope you have fun with that. I really do. But all right. Let's get into the conference and networking season. This one's probably going to be a little bit shorter than our normal one. Usually we go about, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes. We go pretty long, but this one I'm going to try to keep it around 10, 20 minutes. Just to give you the highlights
Cool.
of what you need to do coming up this season and how to hopefully win business. And as always, Ray, I know you're new to the whole conference networking season bit, but if you have any questions, definitely you know pipe in, or any
Well,
suggestions
yes, sir.
that you've seen that maybe outside of
Uh,
business. Hey, I mean, you might have some thoughts about things that you've done outside of business that could be pertinent to this conversation. One of the things that
yes,
I've
sir.
always
I'm just a young woman. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've always, heard about in terms of like just suggestions is sometimes figuring out the best ways to navigate, business processes is just thinking about something completely different. So,
Yep.
all right, conference season, conference. So for all of you guys who get the weekly newsletter, a lot of this was in that portion. If you want access to the weekly newsletter, check out suppliertynews.com. Go there and then just sign up. But I went through some of the conferences that are coming up over the next 2 weeks. One's in Michigan, the DTE Energy uh, small business event, which is connecting, suppliers in Michigan with DTE Energy. There's one coming up in Houston, another one in Wisconsin, DC, and a couple other ones. But but as we move forward into that, let's talk about what you need to do to win business, because that's what it's all about. So the first thing, and this is nothing new from people who have been in business for a long time, but you got to do your research. You have to know when you go to different conferences like this. There's going to be a ton of different businesses, and you're not going to be able to talk to everyone. So you've got to have a list a target list, if you will, of the companies that you want to go after. Um, Depending upon what you sell, I'd say keep it between 5 and 10. Um, make sure that you know exactly what they're looking for. If you don't know what they're looking for, make sure you have questions that you need answered in order to move forward with that company. Um, and then in addition to that target list, make sure you network with people around you. Make sure that within that 5 to 10 target list, also have a maybe 5 to 10 list of just finding out what people do. Maybe looking for suppliers or partnerships. So you should have that customer target list, and you should also have that partnership or synergy or whatever target list, so you know who to connect with, because you never know who's going to be at this event. Um, Now, with that target list, or when we're talking about the customer target list, again, make sure you hit them up. Make sure you go to their booths and connect with them um, as much as possible. Again, make sure that you have your information, what you want to provide them, uh, ready to go, succinct. That 30 second to 1 minute elevator pitch. Make sure you have that ready. Uh, and then again, those questions that you need answered in order to connect a new business with them. Uh, as the saying goes, if you can leave with one solid lead, you've done a great job. So what you're looking at is probably a 10 to 20% lead generation rate when you go to different conferences like this. If you can get anything more than one solid lead, you're doing great. So that's really the goal here and the focus as you navigate the early conference season. Um, in addition to that, uh, let's talk about some of the you know what some people say works for them, and then I'll also get into what works for me. And then Ray, by all means, you can go ahead and ask questions. After that, but some people say that emailing uh, companies before the event, to let them know that you're gonna be there, and try to get a some type of sit down or meeting is a good solution. My suggestion for that is only email companies if you know them or if you've connected with them beforehand. And working with
So
different.
don't email the company you have.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say, so don't email the company that you have nothing, you know nothing. Well, they know nothing about you. You just telling them, hey, I'm coming to the conference.
Exactly.
Uh, don't do that.
Exactly. Don't.
Big no no, huh?
Yeah. Well, not a big no, but this is just feedback that I've gotten from companies that I've worked with, or that I've
Okay,
had conversations about with. Because they don't know who you are or what you're offering. I mean, it's just basically a regular sales email, and it's like, okay, it's nice you're going to be there, but even the first thing they're going to say is, well, I mean, let's just meet at the conference. Like, like you're really wasting your time
right,
if you're
right.
emailing them a week in advance, because they're just going to say, okay, talk to me when you get to the conference, whatever. Uh, However, if you've talked to them, a year or two as you're trying to build that relationship and win business from them, they're going to know who you are. So they're going to know exactly what you do, and this
Okay.
may be the perfect time to close that deal, because they may be trying to get a meeting with you. So email them and say, hey,
Hmm,
we've talked the
okay.
past couple of years. Let's make sure we meet at 1 p.m. or whatever, or 2 p.m. whatever. When I'm there, they're gonna definitely be like, okay, yeah, definitely, let's go ahead. And I've done this, and this has helped me further relationships. So it's a really good tactic. Again, but that's if you know them. Um, uh,
The
uh, yep.
question, Jamie, have you, as a newbie, when you first started off going to the conferences, at the beginning, have you ever had that experience when you're emailing a company that you never met before, you never did any kind of business with, and you got a kind of a weird email back, like, okay, I'll see you at the conference?
I've never actually,
Did you do that?
yeah, I've never actually emailed a company before a conference.
No?
Not before a conference.
Okay.
I've had a
But after, though?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You always want to email after. Always want to email after. But yeah, I've never said, hey, let's meet at a conference. Oh, excuse me. I never said let's meet at a conference before I met them or I knew them because I was going to see them at the conference. Um,
Okay.
and again, this is one of the this is the feedback that I've gotten from companies. Some I'm sure some people have done it and it's worked wonders for them. But I'm
Hmm.
just suggesting that just meet them at the conference and talk to them there. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's just that's just for me, and it is what it is. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But in terms of what I've done at conferences is okay. So my first conference that I went, if this is your first conference that you've ever gone to, hello, right?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. It was just like a lot of static.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's fine. But yeah, yeah. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Um,
You were talking about in regards to this is your first time going to a conference.
right. So my first time going to a conference, I had no plan. I just kind of went, talked to as many companies as possible, and just told them about my idea and see if they were interested, and then kind of went from there. Which is kind of hit or miss. Um,
Hmm.
if you're brand new to a conference, I would say networking is key. So just go in with a target list, obviously, of people you want to do business with, but don't be afraid to network with everyone because you never know since you're selling something new and no one really knows who you are, maybe networking with somebody who you never even thought of might connect you with somebody who you do want to connect with or who is on your target list. So, just try to talk to as many people. First, knock out your targets, of course. And, even with your targets, and this is if you're new, ask them, hey, who would be interested in this product or who should I be targeting? Maybe it's a certain industry that may need what I'm offering. Don't be afraid to ask them because they have a lot more experience than you, and they can point you in the right direction. Not everyone will be helpful, but all you need is one person to say, "Hey, you should check out that industry, or you should check out those companies," and that'll lead you to where you need to be. And something that when I first came in, I did. Hey, who should I be talking to about this? And it definitely helped me out. So because it doesn't really take much to say, well, those company A. I know company A is looking for something similar. You should check them out. It doesn't really take much. So that's if you're new. If you're seasoned or if you have a lot of experience, again, you kind of know what you're doing. You probably know the conference. Probably not your first time there. So you're really following up with a lot of companies. Um, One of the questions that I've gotten a lot is how do I close that deal? Um, Here's the truth. The truth is there's really no magic wand that will make somebody buy from you, right? It's a process. Um, as you're going into the conference season, this is kind of the a part of the process, which is connecting with corporations, making sure that they're aware of your service and what you do, and making sure that you get on that list, if you will. So when they're looking to buy that certain product or service, you get that email that says, "Hey, we're looking to buy. Can you service us?" Or, "Hey, here's the RFP. Fill it out and make sure you send us the correct documentation so we can select the company we want to go with for that." Now, a part of that conference process as well is when you meet different organizations, one of the first questions they're going to ask you is, are you registered with our company? And what they mean by that is, have you gone to their website and have you filled out your supplier information? So when they talk with you after the conference, they can look you up in their database and say, okay, this is the guy that spoke with me. Let me make sure I, keep his information around and include him on like bid process or her on bid processes. Um, for them. Uh, so because of that, that's why we've been promoting the Supplierty www.supplierty.com so hard is because we want to make sure that before you go to these conferences, you can take a look at who's going to be attending these events and make sure that you're registered. So when they ask that question, you can tell them yes, and you can continue selling them with whatever product you have. And these registration systems, in bulk, they can be a little, a little overbearing. So if you have, 10 that you got to fill out, I mean, that could take you, an hour or two to fill out. But if you're looking to go to a conference or event that, has one or two companies, then, it's a pretty quick breeze. But again, if you've got, 10 or 20 that you need to fill out, definitely check out www.supplierty.com, because that'll definitely help out what you're trying to do, and streamline that process for you and cut down a lot of time, so you don't have to go to these websites and look for them yourself, which can take 20-30 minutes to find. You just go to our website. We've got the links up for you. You can just go from there. And it's, pretty cheap, only $10 a month. So definitely check that out. But um, that's kind of the process as we're going into the early morning conference and networking season, which is, make sure that you do your research on these companies. Make sure you know what they're buying, which again can be found at supplierty.com. And then once you're there, have that target list ready, connect with them. And that target list includes the customers that you potential customers that you want to do business with, as well as try to find 5 to 10 other people who you may not have networked it with, that can be useful for partnerships. And then once you have that completed or whatever, and once you're talking to these customers, which you've already registered because you're using supplierty.com, after the event is over, you can follow up in a week or two, shoot them an email, remind them of where you met and what you told them about in terms of products and services, and then you can kind of go from there and move forward with that. Makes
Mm.
sense. Yep.
It makes sense. I mean, then, Jamie, when you're going, question, at the conference, you're going up to talk to these individuals. How do you, I mean, do you usually start off with talking about, hey, this is what I do, this is my company, this is what we offer you and stuff like that? Or how do you usually start off?
So
Is it like just a basic, friendly conversation, or do you just
that's
come out starting about talking about business stuff?
that's actually a really good question. It's funny you should ask that, because everybody's different. I've learned that,
Okay.
and geez, I cannot emphasize that enough. I've spoken with, I've had, so I'm about to be, brutally honest here. I'm not going to name any company names, but uh,
Mm-hmm.
some companies are friendlier than others. So sometimes friendly talk is actually a very good tactic, and it'll ease them in to whatever you're trying to sell them. For me, the thing that I do is, try to have quick, friendly conversation. Then I ask, hey, because I don't want to waste my time or theirs. So one of the first questions I ask is, are you the person that handles this? So for me, it would be, like technology or IT or software, or dealing with supplier diversity or small business programs and whatnot. So that's one of the first questions I always ask, because last thing you want to do is have a 5-minute conversation with somebody who at the end of it says, "Yeah, that's not what I actually cover," and the person who you need to talk to isn't here, but I'll pass your information along. No, you want to talk to the person who is over that, so you can get the feedback you need. So one of the first questions I ask is, hey, are you the person who, handles this? And if they're not, they'll either point you in the right direction, or they'll just say the person isn't here, but you can come back, and talk to them. And if you come back and you still miss them, then tell the person or whatever about your company, maybe leave some information and try to get that person's information who you need to talk to. But that's if you keep missing them. But when you're going to these part different companies, friendly talk, sometimes work, it sometimes doesn't. Um, Sometimes just getting to the point is key. Again, when I was talking about being brutally honest, I've talked to some companies, you give them the friendly talk and they're like, yeah, okay, but what do you sell? Like, they just completely cut me off and just, okay, just tell me about your product. Some people I've talked to, and friendly conversation. Again, it opens them up, and I can get more out of them. Uh, some people, it's just no. I mean, no matter what you say, they're going to be like, we already have somebody who does it. Like I've gone to companies and I know they don't have anybody who does it, because I go to their websites, and I tell them about my product or service, and they'll be like, yeah, we already have somebody who does it, and it's like, you'll get that. Um, I've had people who, no matter what you tell you, you could be saying I'm giving free money, and they'll be like, "That's nice. Go to my website and register." And it's like, "Well, I've already registered." "That's nice. Go to my website and register." So I mean, it's just you get different people. So there's really,
Uh,
again, there's no magic wand for selling and getting a contract. There's no magic wand for like getting a nice person who's willing to help you out. It's really, most people are pretty good. Like I'd say 70%. Come in, have a good conversation, ask them, are they the person to talk with about, a certain service or product, and they'll point you in the right direction. It's about 75%, 3 out of 4. But you will get that one every fourth person, fourth or fifth person that'll, just don't doesn't want to be there, honestly. Uh, so, but that such is life, right? Um,
right,
Such
right.
is life. This isn't just conferences. This isn't just like small business programs or supply diversity programs. It has nothing to do with that. It's just it's life. So when you're dealing with that, when you're dealing with those type of people, I mean, there are sales tactics, which you're gonna need more than the 20 minutes that we have, or 20-30 minutes that we have to like talk about this. But there are sales tactics that books out there that definitely help you navigate when you get a person who's just like no matter what, to try to get them to open up. But that you will get those, very few and far between, but that will happen. But usually, it's good natured. Again, like I said, have a small talk, be nice, cordial, personal, as well as business oriented, and you'll get the results that you're looking for.
Okay.
So
I got you.
yeah.
Good information. Good information.
Yep. So like I said, I wanted to keep this short. It's been a little over 20 minutes. So I think that's pretty good in terms of how we went and navigated the process. Uh, so
And definitely, Jamie, before you go, I wanted to, well, point out that possibly within the next few weeks, we'll have something, some more like a PowerPoint or something, just giving more detailed information about how to prepare for these conference season as well.
oh yeah, definitely. That's something we can definitely have moving forward. I don't have a problem with that. I know one of the bigger conferences that's coming up is in late March. That's the Women Owned Business, Women Business Enterprise Network Conference or Council conference that's coming up in New Orleans. So I know that's a big one. People really, especially women owned businesses, are really gearing up for. So yeah, if we can like have a PowerPoint, kind of helping them through that process, I think that'll work very well. So. So, all right, that's pretty much it from us. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment on the video. We really appreciate the viewers that we've been getting over the past couple of, especially the past like month and a half. Like, we're over 1,100 now. This is, I mean, it's going. It's for us. It's really big, and it's really great to know that people are continuing to come back and listen to what we have to say. So we really appreciate that. And as always, feel free to leave a comment and continue following us. So thank you, and take care.
Have a good evening, everybody.